Hey, you guys, I was just talking to someone and it just came in my spirit, and the Lord was just showing to me just just the understanding of divine disruption, a quickening, a suddenly that can happen in our lives. And it made me think about these two passages I'm going to share with you. It talked about in 1 King 19, and it says, the Lord said to him, he's talking to Elijah, God is talking to Elijah. He says, go return your way to the wilderness of Damascus, and you will arrive, and you shall anoint Hazael as king over Aram and Syria, and you shall anoint Jehu, the son of Nimshi, as king over Israel, and anoint Elisha, the son of Shaphat of Abel Mahola, as prophet in your place. It shall come about that Jehu shall put to death whoever escapes from the sword of Hazael, and Elisha shall put to death whoever escapes the sword of Jehu. And then, so you see later on, it says in verse 19, it says, so Elijah departed from there and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat. And while he was plowing with 12 pairs of oxen before him, and he with the 12, Elijah went over to him and threw his mantle coat on him. He left the oxen and ran after Elijah and said, please let me kiss my mother and father goodbye, then I will follow you. And he said to him, go on back, for what have I done to stop you? So Elisha left him and went back. Then he took a pair of oxen and sacrificed them and boiled their meat with the implements of the oxen as fuel, and gave the meat to the people, and they ate. Then he stood and followed Elijah and served him. And so it's the understanding how quickly life changed for Elisha. He was just going about his business, and here comes Elijah, like throwing this calling, this mantle on him, like, hey, like, God called Elijah to go have Elisha take his place one day and train him and raise him up as a prophet. And Elijah, the livestock, like, that is like how they made money for his family, and he's over here eating it, sacrificing it, like it was just a symbolism of, so tending to it, it was just like this symbolism of, I'm going to the next in my life. I'm no longer doing this business of livestock, but yeah, I'm going to go and be trained as a prophet under Elijah and his tutelage. And how quickly, suddenly, he's doing one thing, and how God called him that fast. I mean, you see right here, it says, he literally just walked up to him and threw it on, and then Elisha just caught up with him, like, oh wow, like, it's my turn, I'm gonna do it. Like, how he just had the understanding, like, it's time to shift, and he shifted and said goodbye, and transitioned to what God wanted him to do that fast. And then also, like, you see when in Matthew chapter 4 verse 18 and 22, it says Jesus was walking by the Sea of Galilee. He saw two brothers. There was Simon, some people call him Peter, talking about Peter, and Andrew, his brother. They were putting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen, right? So Simon and Peter were fishermen. That's what they did. That was their calling. That was their vocations. That was their vocation in life. That's what they were trained to be. These fishermen. And then it says, Jesus said to them, follow me. I will make you fish for men. And it says, at once they left their nets and followed him. And it says, and so it's the understanding that how quickly here they were just doing their business, right? Like, they were fishermen, and then Jesus rose up, was like, hey, you're going to be fisher of men, come with me. And at once they quickly just caught on to the quick thing that was happening, the divine disruption that happened in their lives, and they followed Jesus to go into this call. And I want to say, encourage some of you that, God may be calling you, and he may do it that quickly. He may just have you shift. Maybe there's like a season of shift happening for some. Some people are still waiting for that calling of God to do something, but we just need to continue to be good stewards of what we're doing right now in our lives, and be prepared for that shift to happen fast. You may not have months, like, okay, God, like, you got me, like, hey, I need you to go do this, and you're like, okay, God, let me do this and let me do that, and give them a year and months and pray about it and all this. No, God's telling you to do it quickly, to just shift fast. And some of us, we have to catch on to what God is doing, because some of us, we think we have this time and we can do it here and there, and sometimes we miss the moment. God is telling us to do this and be here a certain spot, and we're trying to do all these different things, and then we'll get there. But allow God to work through you. When God, called Peter to do that, Peter had still a lot of things he had to work through in his life. It's not like, Peter understood, I'm sure who he was and kind of man he was. I think Jesus understood the kind of man Peter was. I mean, this is the same man who chopped a man's ear off. And Peter, and so, but Jesus still knew and called him anyway. And so some of us maybe not feel like, oh, we're not ready for something, but allow God to work through you and prepare you. If you just say yes to him, just say yes to what he's doing and just quickly do it. Move fast. We need to move fast. Sometimes there's a suddenly happening, a quickening happening. So we want to operate and move in that, and when God calls you, just give him that yes and move forward. So I just want to share that with you guys. Be blessed, you guys.